Well, I think you know what this means. Clearly, today we're having a rave in the garage. Nope, we're just working on Wally some more, trying to get it to run a little bit better. Last I worked on this, I basically got it to the point where it was running enough and had all the electrics working enough to get it on the road and get its plate and it's legal and all of that stuff. Now we need to get it to run way better because it currently runs like a turd. I mean, this thing only had maybe 130 horsepower on its best day. So when this thing is not running good, it is really not running good. As you would expect from a car that is, a year shy of turning 40, and it's of the early fuel injection era, this thing has some vacuum lines. Not to mention, the very simple, but still there, boost side of the system, since it is a turbo car. And all of this stuff ages over time and causes you headaches. I presume a reason that this thing kind of runs like a dog right now is vacuum leaks, but finding them has been a real chore. It also has a electric vacuum pump on there. It's a very low compression engine to handle the non-intercooled, 8 psi of fury getting shoved into this thing. So there's a potential that there's leaks in that. I've done a ton of basically fiddling with it to try to get it to sound right, because that pump should not be running all the time. It should kick on, create some vacuum, and then shut off. And it very frequently is just going and going and going. Another subject of possible issue is this right here. That is basically a pop-off valve. For whatever reason, I guess I get it. Like, it was an early turbo motor, kind of. Let's not go down that rabbit hole. But they didn't know, They didn't know what it was capable of. Yeah, it's got a wastegate on it, but it doesn't have a blow-off valve, and that turbo is directly pumping into the intake manifold. So they put this guy on there to vent any pressure that was too much for this, low compression 1.8 liter engine to take. Honestly, the real thing is it's more pressure than these anemic little injectors could probably pump fuel into the thing. So if it goes over a certain PSI, it'll vent. Is it venting all the time? Is it getting stuck? Because sometimes the thing runs okay, it runs good, and then other times it's just a boggy, doesn't want to go anywhere mess. So that brings us over here to our, rave supplies, where we've got Alert fog machine, SM500, 500 watt fog machine. This is the cheapest fog machine that is for sale on Amazon that me or ZK could find. And I've got some Ghost fog machine fluid. Due to the bumpy road, please inspect the nozzle section upon receipt of the smoke machine. Okay, I'll do that. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and use the hood of the brat over here to take this out of the box. We got miscellaneous little screws. We've got a handle. Boy, don't crack the fiberglass cone, jeez. And then hawking, looks like tank and pumps and all that stuff. I gotta say, for a $30-something fog machine, it doesn't look too bad. Oh, I think my nozzle may have shifted upon receipt. Yes, I need to take a pair of pliers and move it to the center for optimum fogitude. Blink. Okay, that was ridiculously easy. Anything else? Anything else I need to know? Alert. That's it, huh? Notice 1. Guidance. Assemble the fog machine. Thank you. It can be hanged up by the hanger, placed on the ground. Good. Well, that seems pretty simple. If that's the entirety of the assembly. Let's see. There are 2 switches on the back of the fog machine. The upper button is the main switch. The following button is the automatic spray button. Okay. Let's not drop our Ghost here. Oh, I spilled some Ghost. Hate to see it. All right, let's hold off. We don't want to have too much Ghost in there, Definitely seems like a great idea to have holes at the top of this electric machine that you put liquid into. That seems ideal. Here we go. We got lights. Preheat indicator. Okay, it comes in the package switched on. That seems safe and ideal. Fluid is supposed to be by the fog machine. I'm sorry, what? The fluid supported by the fog machine is water-based fog fluid. When no use for a long time, please add a small amount of water in the oil drum and start the spray to prevent the oil blockage of the tubing. Be used in dry and well-ventilated place. If water and rain fall in, turn off power immediately. The room for it around should be at least 25 square meters for good performance. Well, by golly, I hope we have a good performance today. There's a remote? I don't have... Oh, I do have a remote. Look at that. Look at this adorable little thing. Oh, we have a preheat indicator. Unlock. I'm not gonna lie. That kind of surprised me. Okay. That's encouraging. That's significant. All right, if I hit lock, does it stop? Yes. Okay. Well, I'm going to need to make a thumbnail out of this. I'm going to get it so foggy in here that I can't any longer tell if it's the car or where it's leaking. Okay, so somehow I've got to get the nozzle hooked up to the intake in a way that we can pump that fog through all of this banana business. Hey, calm down over there. Okay, test number 1 for old alert here. I've got this dishwasher, I don't know, disposal side, the hose that gets rid of your dishwasher shmoo. I've got that duct taped to the nozzle. It's almost a perfect fit. Would have been great if it was. Honestly, it doesn't even need to do as well as it did before. If this reduces the performance, that'll be okay. All right, I'm going to hit unlock. Let's see what happens. Oh, should I hold it up? Should I make this look legit? That is so much better than I expected it to be. I don't know why this is making me laugh like an idiot. All right, well, here's our rig. You know, it's pretty legit, I gotta tell you. There's definitely very expensive machines you can buy that do this officially, and they don't look nearly as legit as my setup. If you're doing this at home, you don't necessarily need the purple duct tape, but I'm pretty sure it helps. All right, let's fire this thing up, and I'm assuming we're going to be dealing with a lot of leaks, you know, where I'm injecting the smoke, and we'll see how it goes from there. If we need to do some more taping, I've got some aluminum back tape that might help. And where's my remote? I just know the first thing I'm going to lose off of this whole machine thing is the remote. In fact, it's already happened. Unlock. Here we go. That is what I expected. Okay. But that doesn't mean that it's a failure. I noticed a ton of air, a lot of smoke coming out from this plate here, and that's to be expected. This is a, you know, just a pod filter adapter for the mass airflow. I think what I may end up having to do is taking that adapter plate off, or maybe even the mass airflow altogether, because we're going to get so much leakage around that. But that leakage doesn't matter. That's pre-MAF. So any leak after the mass airflow, that's the computer getting freaked out. That's the computer getting confused. Any leak before the MAF, the computer doesn't care. It doesn't know about that air. All right, well, this should conclude our arts and crafts portion of the show today. All right, let's see if we at least have, like, less leakage. Ooh, yeah, that's looking good. Okay. Let's look at their engine. And maybe let it hold there. And do we see any wisps? Let's put flashlight on. This is one of those cases where we're like, you know, just really hoping for a smoking gun, but the chances are very slim that we're actually going to get a nice, clear, obvious issue. It idles too good, you know? It idles and runs sometimes too good, which is what leads me to believe that we've actually got ourselves some kind of either solenoid that's sticking or something of that nature, but we gotta narrow it down. All right, well, let's test that this thing even works. Let's pull a vacuum line off. Let's make a big vacuum leak and see if we can see anything. Okay, not super encouraging that I don't see anything coming out of there. So let's power this thing on again. And let's see if we ever get some wisps here. Oh, yeah. Okay. That's significant. All right. Well. Okay. So, successful rig. Let's plug it back up. Also confirms that it goes beyond the butterfly because I was getting it back out the other side of the air control valve. Okay. Well, let me let the smoke clear. I was getting some wisps out of my plug. Not much, but certainly not super ideal. If you get a PVC cap to put into this, you could do way better than what I'm doing. All right, bigger light should help us see a little better. If we're getting anything, we can certainly see it coming out of there. You know, I'm really amazed. I am genuinely surprised at seemingly how well sealed up this engine is. I would not have suspected that, considering the age of this thing. And you know, these kind of janky seals we've got on the boost side of things. Here, let's open up the throttle, let some more go in. Well, nothing so far. I maybe just caught a little wisp over here. Let me prime it again. Really looking for stuff coming out of the turbo area. And you know what? I am just not seeing it. Just these wisps over here by where I've got it plumbed into the intake. I feel like I'm once again maybe getting a hint of something over here, but nothing outrageous. Nothing that's our smoking gun, that's for sure. Let's just pop it open again and ensure that we are indeed full of smoke. Will it leak with a loose hose? Will it leak past a little crack in a vacuum line? Pressure might be a factor here too. And I am prepared to try that as well. So fill it full of smoke and then put it under pressure. All right, nothing out there. I mean, you can see a little wisp, but not significant. So it does need some pressure. Obviously, you know, it's an open engine. Like the valve, there's going to be exhaust valve open somewhere in the line, maybe two. Who knows? So it's allowed to go through the engine. It's not going to linger in there forever. Ruh-roh. Have we already used up our smoke? There's something coming out, but oh, there it goes. Okay, it is coming out. It might not be as thick as I would like, though. Let me make sure we have fluid. Yeah, we do. Okay. I'm sure it's hard on the machine to be pushing it in like this. I see it wisping out there. So my plan, how many times have I said the word wisping? I'm going to drive myself nuts in editing and demand that I count the wisp. The wispometer. Oh, it blows it back. Had to do a quick little camera change. I just want to do one more test with it open, just to prove to myself that we're still getting enough smoke to actually see anything. Oh yeah, okay. That is, I think that's case closed. I would believe that we have no significant vacuum leaks in this thing. Which is shocking, but at least we know now. Oh wow, look at that, you can even see it with it just loose. You can see that it's just got the littlest trail. So it sure seems like this thing is plumbed up pretty tight. FYI, probably don't try exactly what I did at home. I think it's a little toasty, and you will melt your duct tape to your fog machine. Just so you know. It's not the end of the world, but just an FYI. How you doing, S'mores? How you doing? Hmm? Really? That's how you're gonna treat me right now? After all I've done for you? Unbelievable. Alright, well I put it back together and there's still some smoke in the air, but let's see if my battery boiled over enough to start this thing up after months and months. And if it does, I guess I'm gonna take it out for a little spin and we'll just see what's up. Let's see, I might have to put a little bit of help on that battery, we'll see. Sounds like it might be okay. It's a little weak. But we can still hear that the key's in the ignition. Alright, jump box on. There we go. That's gonna go. You know, for sitting a long time, that was not so bad. Just a little bobble as it found fuel. -5 on the vacuum. That's good. All right, let me open up the door and we'll go for a spin. Interestingly, just sitting here waiting to go, it's picked up a misfire. It's lost a cylinder, I would say. It did it sporadically, and now it's done it pretty continually. Kind of sounds like an injector that's stuck or intermittent. Oh, it came back. It's gone. All right, let me investigate under the hood. Not number one. Number two. Number two is not responding. Not responding. Oh, hello. Welcome back, number two. We missed you. And it's gone. You can't handle this ghost cam. All right, test number one is we jiggle. We jiggle and we smack and we wiggle. So we've had some issues with the ECU wiring. We had it back for a second again. So I'm just feeling around, trying to feel for maybe a ground that's weak. If any amount of jiggling caused it to come back. know it seems rudimentary, but sometimes that's just literally the best clue you get for electrical gremlins. Well, unfortunately, I'm starting to suspect that we've got ourselves either a stuck or just clogged injector again. It's just so hard to know whether or not it's a wiring issue or not. It's interesting that it seems like it's solidly just number 2. So you can tell it's now way more intermittent than it was. I'm tempted to try and still take it out and just try to clear out the cobwebs, but it's just so hard leaning out that cylinder. It would be better if it was doing nothing. Yeah, like if that cylinder was getting no fuel, it's better than I think getting a little bit of fuel, because then it's trying to fire on a super lean mix, and that's no good for it. I mean, am I going to run it so hard that it is an issue? Probably not, but I also don't want to cause needless damage. Alright, well that about does it for this time. We have more issues to try to figure out here, that's for sure. I think we're onto something with the vacuum stuff. There's maybe a solenoid or a one-way valve that is malfunctioning. We'll dig more into that next time. I really just wanted to see if the whole smoke machine thing worked, because it's a pretty interesting test. And I'm actually pretty happy with the way that it worked. I mean, as you can tell, for basically $40, you can have a pretty good functioning smoke tester. And there's other ways you could use this too. If this had an electric fan on it, for example, what we could do is fog the engine, and you would actually be able to see where there is disruptions in the air as far as air coming out or air going into the engine. So there's other uses that you could use something like this for. I've got links in the description if you wanted to purchase something like this. I'm not really vouching for it. I don't think it's some amazing product, but it's a great cheap way to get into it if you're a low buck mechanic like me. If you really want to find the nitty-gritties of it, go buy a real one. Like they make these things specifically for finding vacuum leaks in engines and boost leaks as well. Tune in next time. We're going to throw some of this vitamin B12 down in there. We certainly know there's other people on the YouTubes that swear by it. I've never tried anything like it. I've had the injectors apart 3 times on this, the whole fuel system, the fuel rail, everything. It's a pain in the butt. If I can get it just to free up enough to let it run for a while and get to diagnosing other things, that would be great. Poor result, but pretty good test overall. See you next time. Hey everybody, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Appreciate all you patrons for sticking with me. Postcards are going out soon, so if you're a patron postcard member, you'll be getting a brand new postcard here in the mail. And I hope you have a good holiday season. I am actually doing some changes to my schedule. I will be live on Twitch Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from like 1 to 5, somewhere in that range. And I will be doing video uploads every Saturday and Sunday at noon. Unless something strange goes on, you know, parenthood, that kind of stuff happens. And it'll be either here for automotive stuff or on the content channel on YouTube. That will be for gaming stuff, where we're currently doing iRacing and some other sim racing kind of stuff. Peace.